My high school experience in regards to accepting myself and coming through the journey of accepting myself was definitely a long one. It was rocky at first. I came in freshman year definitely kind of unsure of who I was in regards to absolutely everything. Didn't really know where I fit in, didn't know what my passion was, wasn't comfortable with my body, wasn't comfortable with my sexuality, wasn't comfortable with anything really. Labeling myself, fitting into a friend group. As I kind of came through freshman year, it hit me in I got sick. I had an eating disorder, and I was in treatment after freshman year, the summer between freshman and sophomore year. After treatment, I definitely became more comfortable in terms of my body and in terms of my physical appearance, but I still was not comfortable in my sexuality. I was not comfortable in terms of friend groups, and still had not really found a place. I feel like everyone in high school is with the soccer team, or they're with the basketball team, or they're with the chorus. Everyone just has their little groups that they move around in, and I did not fit in. And it's not to say I didn't have friends. I had people to sit with at lunch, had people to study with. I had groups, I had friends, but I wasn't a member of the soccer team or the dance team or the dance studio, or I wasn't really in a category, I guess, and I was not comfortable with that. I definitely did find myself comfortable in a community, in this kind of nonprofit organization community that is all about fostering self-esteem and spreading good body image, whether it be about body image, just general self-image. I just really love that kind of environment where it's all about making people feel good and spreading good vibes, really. I loved that. I found my passion in, it's going to sound so weird, but Spanish class, and it's like my favorite thing in the entire world to just cozy up to my Spanish to English dictionary, and it sounds crazy, but whatever floats your boat. So I think it was really just towards the end of high school when I began to get to know myself more and just kind of try new things, discover new things, and find out what does get me excited and what does float my boat, for lack of a better phrase. And when I just began to know myself more, then I definitely did become more comfortable with myself. And at the end of high school, by graduation, I was just I was so done with the high school environment, but I just was I knew myself. I know myself, and I am, when all's said and done, at the end of the day, I am luckily very comfortable with myself. Advice for girls and women struggling with self-acceptance. This is going to sound so weird, and I know it's probably going to come off like, oh my god, this girl's a hippie freak, what are we even doing? I totally get that. I think the most important aspect, I guess the most influential aspect of me accepting my body, myself, was kind of separating your soul and your body and getting to know each one individually. I think the most important part for women struggling with acceptance is realizing that your soul and your body are just two separate things, and both deserve equal amount of love and acceptance, and you just kind of need to keep in mind that it's not mutually exclusive. Whether it be accepting the fact that you're not as maybe in with the crowd as you think as you would want to be, if you're not accepting the fact that if you're attracted to whoever you're attracted to, don't take it out on your body, and kind of definitely do some emotional work, because your soul deserves just as much love. But don't take all those issues and don't stuff those feelings in your thighs and be like, well, my thighs are huge, and I really am not and I really don't fit in as well as I would like, so I probably should just go to the gym. Separate the two. My views on the media and their definitions of beauty. I think it's kind of self-explanatory that I think it's ridiculous for censoring myself here. The media defines beauty as either stick thin or curvy, and that's great. I'm glad that they accept both. But what about everyone in between? Like, I just don't understand why it's either you're either model size or you're plus size. What if you're average size? Like, I think that's absolutely ridiculous. I always love when they have women in the Dove self-esteem ads with tattoos, because it's such kind of a hush hush thing, I think, in the model industry and the advertising industry. You know, if you have a tattoo, they cover it up, they airbrush it out, whatever. People have them. People, you see them around. You just don't see them really in the advertising industry. And I think that just, you know, it goes to show that we're buying into this image that's not necessarily just about body types. You know, people are kind of saying to the media, well, you're only using people that are stick thin. Okay, but you're also only using people with a certain skin type, a certain hair color, a certain facial look, you know, a certain amount of tattoos. There's just so many things that range on and human beings as American society that I really think should be represented in a greater variety. And of course I'm affected by the messages the media sends out. I think everyone is subconsciously. Someone was just telling me about how they were walking through Kohl's the other day, and they saw an ad about exercise clothes. You know, they had the women, these two women running in exercise clothes, and the ad said lunch is overrated, basically implying that you should replace you should replace lunch with exercise. I personally was infuriated by this ad. I just think it's absolutely absurd. Medically, first of all, let me just go on this rant. First of all, medically, it doesn't make sense to skip lunch and just exercise, because your body needs that energy in order to burn the fat that typically people want to burn when they exercise. So just medically, that just doesn't make sense. But I think subconsciously, you know, my superficial reaction to this ad in particular, and, you know, ads like this, is just frustration and criticism. And like, what are these advertisers thinking when they put out there that, of course, I mean, I know what they're thinking. I know they think it'll sell, it'll make money, and it does. Unfortunately, it does. But I think that I also am hit on a subconscious level, because I think as women we're taught to pick up on these things. Not just women. As people in American society, we're taught to look at these ads and learn and process and then apply them to ourselves. So I think maybe almost before I criticize, I'm like hit by a split second of being like, maybe I should do that. Maybe I should skip lunch and just exercise instead. You know, I think I kind of have trained myself, and I've learned through treatment and through my experience to kind of suppress these instincts. I think I try to put positivity into the world, definitely through HIPS, you know, through my HIPS organization. At meetings, at HIPS meetings, we did a lot of trashing fat talk. You know, we would write down on a piece of paper, I don't like my thighs, or I don't like my stomach, or things that we personally felt about our body, and we would trash it in front of the room, and it'd be kind of almost symbolic. Well, it definitely was symbolic, but almost like not ceremonial, because it's not like, you know, people weren't like chanting and like fires weren't going or anything, but I guess just symbolic of life in general, just letting go of criticisms to yourself and all these things. So I definitely tried to put positivity into the world through that. I really try for myself, and I really try to remind others to keep things in perspective, look at the silver lining, and just give yourself a break, cut yourself some slack. I always tell people, find 10 minutes a day, just 10 minutes every single day for yourself, whether it be painting your nails, taking a hot shower. I think if everyone just took those 10 minutes a day to appreciate themselves, I think it would translate to outward positivity and to appreciating others and to just finding the beauty in life. How do I define the word beauty? That's hard. I think I think the most cliche thing I could possibly think of, and the most true thing, is that it comes from within, but I think it translates outward. I think beauty is a state of mind, almost. I think it's beautiful when you when in those 10 minutes a day that, you're taking for yourself, if you look at your thighs and be like, you rock. You walked me everywhere I was today, and I thank you for that. And I think beautiful is when you look yourself in the mirror and find like an awkward beauty mark and be like, you know what, that's awesome and that's unique. Beauty is when you're having a really hard day and you just want to go home and cry and go to sleep, and you're walking into the house to cry and go to sleep, and you're kind of jiggling your keys in the door and you're like, I can't find the right key, I can't find the right key. And you look up and there's a spider web and you're like, oh my god, great, just another thing, I have to clean or whatever. And you look at that spider web and you're like, that is, that's actually really intricate. How fascinating is it that a creature that, is so small can make such an intricate and delicate and beautiful thing. I think when you learn to appreciate the small things your body does for you, you start to take care of it a little bit more and just appreciate it. That's what I mean when I say it shows itself in its outer form. When you learn to appreciate the beauty of your body and the inner workings and the miracles that it performs, you start to take care of it a little bit better, and you start to almost glow and just be wholesome and appreciative and just be thankful to be alive. I think gratitude and awe. Gratitude and awe are the two most beautiful things that can ever be found in this lifetime, that can ever be achieved. In order to achieve beauty, you just need to be grateful and always be in awe of the little miracles that you don't typically notice. Maybe in those 10 minutes that you're taking for yourself, you can just find one miracle. And, whether it be that the leaves are changing colors outside, or whether it be that your nail polish didn't chip that day, or, just one thing to just be grateful for and just say, I don't really know how that happened, but you know what, universe? Rock on. So, be healthy, be happy, be grateful, and just appreciate the beauty, because it's everywhere. I also just want to give a really quick shout out to the Mana Scholarship Fund. They're absolutely amazing. They're who HIPS always fundraises for. They pay for the treatment of eating disorders for men and women whose insurance won't cover it. It's amazing. You apply for it. You apply for it just like you would a college scholarship, but it's life-saving. So, yeah, okay, so they're absolutely amazing. They're reliable. They're accessible. They're just awesome. So definitely check them out. It's www.manafund.org. Thanks.